Should raise topic number one tonight. Even in footballing culture, the way black people understand work, and white people understand work, are different. Boateng was a German mixed race Ghanaian. Let me read that one more time. My emphasis was all off. Should read topic number one. Even in footballing culture, the way black people understand work and white people understand work are different. Boateng was a German mixed race Ghanaian. This, of course, comes with a link. And again, if you want to join the panel, just click the link pinned to the top of the chat. Also, if you're on TikTok, I had to get on TikTok because of these problems. So if you're on TikTok, give me a follow. My handle is pinned to the top of the chat as well. Let me just make sure you guys can see what I see. Okay, yes, you guys can see what I see. This is from Andrew Sefer. It says Kevin Prince Boateng said that when he joined the Black Stars, he wondered if the players were dancers or footballers. This video describes what he meant. He looked so disinterested. So let's watch this. You know what comes to mind as I was watching that? And it reminds me of when you see videos or depictions of the chain gang in the American South. One of the things you notice with black folks, black men in this chain gang, they kind of sang, they kind of hum, they kind of move with rhythm. And it just shows again these connections that we have. We do understand work a little bit differently. It's same thing in the Caribbean too. You can find similar things like this. We just understand work differently. That's the best way I can just put it. But this absolutely reminds me of those chain gang type things, or women in the market selling their wares, singing their hymns or songs or what have you. It's the same type of thing. In the chat, Trigger, he says, notice. He says, notice. What's going on? My computer's acting up. He says, notice they are singing and dancing even during training. Some of our people think this is distracting. But this was a good Ghanaian team. It was a good Ghanaian team. He says the genre and dancing and Africanness will never be the problem. It's footballing that usually is the issue a lot of the times. I've seen recently, and even some instances of mental problems. Lastly, Trigger says, yeah, we covered the use of music and dance to work in a prompt and shoot the breeze before. This should be how we industrialize, not some boring, myopic patterns of work. Absolutely. With that said, let me introduce my first panelist tonight. That'll be Black Steel. Yeah, I skipped it because the comment jumped when I was reading, so that's why I didn't read uh, football federation. Let's welcome in our boy Black Steel. Black Steel, how are you?
I'm doing all right, Coco. You outside, man?
Now I'm inside. Does it sound noisy?
It sounds like it's like you got a breeze in the background.
Yeah, that's my AC working overtime.
Oh, okay. Oh, you in that heat wave, man?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's 100 degrees out here, so my
Oh no,
AC
what's his
is
name?
working
You know,
overtime.
you
I'll
got to
try to
catch.
turn
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. I understand. You got to cut your AC down to 78, man. That's what the mayor of New York said. So,
it. 78 ain't gonna help out here. Um, Football Association, yeah. Um, Black Sea, were you able to see that video? I mean, it's on the screen now, but they're singing and dancing while practicing.
yeah, I saw that. I saw them. I saw them singing and dancing while they were practicing. I mean, it's a very African centered thing that they do. While they're working, they're active and singing and keeping in rhythm. Like you said, that's what they did work as the American South. They still do that, so it's pretty much a common thing. I guess that's one thing that unites all the descendants of Africa, that they have a love of rhythm and dancing, and they use it as a form of motivation. So to the point, even during the slavery times, if the slaves were too quiet, the overseer would be upset. Like, y'all, why y'all so quiet? Make some noise. So that was something that connected us historically. So yeah, I mean, I don't really pay attention to the football, but I mean, apparently they were a good team and they did well. So um, I think that's something that just unites African people, is how we just use rhythm and dance and music and whatnot as a way to pass the time or organize, or just something that unites and connects us. Um, it's something. It's admirable. Nothing to be ashamed of. That's one of our cultural hallmarks. But I think it's pretty good. How good is this team, by the way? Are they decent? Are they winning? Are they still in the World Cup? Have they been eliminated? What's happening with them? What's going on with them? I don't really know too much
No,
about
they're out.
the World Cup.
They're out now. They're out now. They lost. One of the things with the African teams is they can't keep a lead. They'll go up, and before you know it, it's tied up again. Uh, uh, so yeah, they gotta work on this defense a bit more, man. They Some of these losses were heartbreaking. Yeah, Trigger, you're right. There is another link. I'm going to go to it in a second. Thank you for that. Um, so yeah, they. I think all we have left. I feel like Morocco. Did Morocco lose today, Trigger? I feel like we might just have Egypt, if you want to say we. Uh, uh, Trigger says the current Ghanaian team is trash. I thought they were, again, defense, man. Defense. But I thought they were decent. Oh, Morocco won. Okay. I thought they were decent. So anyway, this goes to the second link. Real quick, Black Steel. Do you think this type of activity, as a school teacher yourself, as an educator, do you think you could utilize this type of activity at all levels of learning for Black children?
If you were to do something like like a group activity, absolutely. Yeah, you could do something like this as a group activity. Have them come up with some lyrics, dance or something, I could definitely see this being used as something as a tactile learning experience. You know, you have to be hands on. The only thing I would be is how would I assess something like that? But I could definitely see some benefits to it.
All right, cool. So we have the second prompt up. It's a short. We'll watch it and then we will discuss it.
To the German ways a little bit, but I didn't know the real deal, the real Ghanaian way. That's like come whenever you want, eat whenever you want. Great chemistry. The team was unbelievable. Was a supportive team. When I met them, I thought we're gonna lose every game in the group stage because we were not playing together. There was no team spirit at the beginning. Everybody just came and then they flashy and with their cars and everybody enjoyed life. No one took it serious, and I was there like trying to stretch and get warm. They were just shooting the ball around, playing football, tennis, laughing, joking. Asamoah Gyan was just dancing the whole time. I said, brother, are you a professional dancer or are you a footballer, you know? So, but the World Cup came, first game, I saw the people, like they changed.
Really?
Locked in. Everybody was ready, focused, concentrated. We came out the bus, everybody's dancing, chicka, chicka, chaka. And if you see, there's a video of me, maybe you can have that video one day, where we come off the bus, the whole team is dancing and playing drums. I have my headphones on. Game today, World Cup. It's like, what is wrong with him? He's pouring down our spirit. He's not happy. He's not. But I was just a different kind of guy. The moment we hit that field, it was a different team. Like, this is when I looked at them and was like, well, okay, we're getting serious. And then we became like a even closer team because we performed really, really good. Thought we're gonna lose every game in the group stage. Coming to the national team of Ghana was a big choice in my career. Big choice. It had a lot of waves in the world because I always played for Germany till the under 21s. It was a complete culture shock for me. You know, I knew Ghanaian people, but they already adapt to the German ways a little bit. But I didn't know the real deal, the real Ghanaian way. That's like come whenever you want, eat whenever you want, dance and sing the whole time. So I had to get used to that. But we had a great chemistry. The team was unbelievable. Was a supportive team. When I met them, I thought we're gonna lose every game in the group stage because we were not playing together. There was no team spirit at the beginning. Everybody just came and then they flashy and with their cars and everybody enjoyed life. No one took it serious, and I was there like trying to stretch and get warm. They were just shooting the ball around, playing football, tennis, laughing, joking. Asamoah Gyan was just dancing the whole time. I said, brother, are you a professional dancer or are you a footballer, you know? So, but the World Cup came, first game, I saw the people, like they changed.
Really?
Locked in. Everybody was ready, focused, concentrated. We came out the bus, everybody's dancing, chicka, chicka, chaka. And if you see, there's a video of me, maybe you can have that video one day, where we come off the bus, the whole team is dancing and playing drums. I have my headphones on. I'm in a tunnel because I have the German mentality. I'm playing a big game today, World Cup. So I'm like stressed like this. And the Ghanaian people is like, what is wrong with him? He's pouring down our spirit. He's not happy. He's not. But I was just a different kind of guy. The moment we hit that field, it was a different team. Like, this is when I looked at them and was like, well, okay, we're getting serious. And then we became like a even closer team because we performed really, really good.
So he said something there that leads me to this question. And this is for a few of you in the chat, Black Steel, of course, be on the panel. He kind of insinuates, and I understand where he's coming from, that it didn't come across, like the training didn't seem serious. A lot of shenanigans, as some would say. And then when the moment came, when it was time to perform, people locked in. And the inference that he kind of alludes to is that, you know, the Germans or whomever, the Europeans, kind of take it serious. They're rigid, they're dogmatic, etc. I want to ask you guys, honestly, which one you think wins? What we witness what we just heard from Botang, we witnessed in the prior video, um, or that real dogmatic, let's get serious, repetition, blah blah. Which one do you think works most? Before I throw it to Black Steel and chat, let me just read some of the comments here. Someone says, as a Ghanaian, I can testify that we are not serious until it matters. Someone says, to be honest, the 2010 team was a very solid one. Sue Montari didn't mind taking a red card for his country. Another person says, we do same in exams, LOL. We read when the exam is moments away. Right? Someone says that he became a dancer himself. Another person says, in Ghana, we are seriously unserious. And mostly serious always. Come to Ghana, let's party. So yeah, I'm really curious what you guys' thoughts are. The carefreeness, does that beat the rigidity? Black Seal would say.
I mean, different strategies for different times, I guess. I mean, I think that their carefree attitude did not stop them from becoming a good team. What is the issue with these? You said it was a matter of defense. Is that what we're saying is the problem with these African teams?
From I wasn't able to catch all the matches this World Cup, but from what I've seen, oftentimes we're up and we get run down, and it seems like it's a defensive thing, particularly. So, but just in general, in terms of work, right? Even like how some people in the comments they say we don't start reading until it's time for the exam. Just in terms of work, what especially you, based on you being an educator, what do you find really works? Does the happy-go-lucky stuff right up until the pressure, is that better?
For me, no, absolutely not. Especially you gotta plan. I try to have my lessons planned for at least a week ahead of time. So I don't do that happy-go-lucky. I have, you got to have materials and everything else like that. So for me, when it comes to work, no, I don't do that. I try to be as meticulously planned as possible. And one reason for that is, we get observations. So if the principal walks in and you're doing that happy-go-lucky stuff, you might be in trouble. So I like to have my stuff planned as meticulously as possible. In the off chance that somebody from admin walks in. It's a little bit different when you have a little bit more leeway, right? When you have a little bit of leeway, you can be a little bit creative and do things on the fly. But when your job is at risk, and like he was saying, when it comes time to be serious, we lock in. And up until the time we're serious, it's fun, but then we got to lock in and be serious. And I guess that could work for some situations. To me, like I said, I feel like it really depends on the atmosphere and the job itself. I personally would not do that in my line of work, but I could see, even towards the end of the year when things get a little bit lax, you're dealing with kids. You can't tighten up too much on the reins, or you have chaos. You have kids fighting and up around causing disruption. So you can't do that in my line of work. But in certain situations, yeah, I can see it. I can see it working. But it all matters. What is your goal? What do you want to accomplish? What is the overall plan for your group? So for their plan, and they play football, they're good at it. They have a relaxed atmosphere, but they still work hard and they're still skilled. It works for them. I think now they would have to kind of work on their defense, but they'll get it next time.
Appreciate that, Black Steel. Yeah, Trigger says probably the only thing you would change is to come on time and eat right. Other than that, dancing and singing and being of high spirit is the African way. And I feel that. I feel you, you know, I feel that. But I do, I hear what Bonteg is kind of saying a little bit. Because let's think about war, for example. Who who's better prepared for war? The folks who were singing and dancing, or the folks who were out there shooting rounds and running drills and stuff? That's how I think about that too. And I understand, it's about what vibes culturally. But when you're going up against certain forces, what's the best what's the best mode of action? That's really what I'm kind of trying to get at.
Well, Koku, many militaries, not just African, but many militaries have war songs and war drums, and they play music and whatnot when they march into battle. Maybe not so much in modern day times, but historically, they always had a drummer and somebody playing the flute, and they would have battle hymns and things like that. So that was always a common thing across militaries.
Yeah, you're right. There's a historical component there. In the chat, Trigger says, I think Africans being carefree is who we are because we were so organized and did what we needed to do as prep. We have always been some of the most organized, and that's not the case now. That's an interesting comment. Very interesting comment. He says we also have to remember the way Kevin is describing this. The Ghana team did drills and train. It's just they ain't approaching it in some monotonous and super focused way. Yeah, I get all of that. That's kind of what I'm saying. Is that the difference? Is really what I'm saying. And I'll leave that there as an open-ended question, but is that the difference? Yeah, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. We're going to continue on the Shoot the Breeze topic number 2. It looks like everyone's kind of celebrating tonight. I do appreciate you, Black Steel, for coming through. I don't know if you cut plans in half to be here tonight, but
well, I don't celebrate the 4th of July, so I'm good on that.
And I appreciate you for it. Trigger in the chat says they probably joked and sang and dancing between two. Like it wouldn't make sense that they did not train when they went to the quarterfinals of the World Cup, the AFCON finals. Should it be song number 2 continues talking about African teams.